You have a stable salary, your bills are paid. From the outside, everything looks fine. There is no chaos, no obvious financial emergency, no dramatic failure, and yet there is a quiet tension in the background. A single unexpected expense feels enough to shake everything. A medical bill, a car repair, a sudden change in income, and in that moment, the sense of stability disappears. If this feels familiar, the problem is not a lack of effort, it's not laziness, it's not irresponsibility. The problem is that most people are playing a financial game they never truly understood. For years, we were taught a very simple equation. Get a job, work hard, be consistent, climb one step at a time. We were told that stability comes from a paycheck, that a steady income equals safety, that if you follow the rules, things will eventually work out. And on the surface, this logic makes sense. A, salary is predictable. It arrives on schedule. It creates routine. Routine feels safe. But safety and stability are not the same thing. And this is where the confusion begins. Because predictability creates comfort, but comfort is not protection. At first, everything seems to work. You adjust your lifestyle to your income, you pay your bills, you feel responsible, then slowly, almost invisibly, something changes. The cost of living raises, rent increases, groceries become more expensive, insurance costs creep up. None of this happens overnight. It happens quietly, year after year. At the same time, consumption becomes normalized. A better phone feels reasonable. A nicer car feels deserved. A few subscriptions feel harmless. Credit makes everything easier, not cheaper. It's just easier. And because it's easy, it doesn't feel dangerous. Lifestyle expands. Not because you made a clear decision, but because the system nudges it forward. Meanwhile, your income remains tied to time and effort. This is the part most people miss. The salary stays relatively stable, but the system around it never stops moving. And because the movement is gradual, it feels natural. This is not a personal failure, it's structural. When pressure increases, most people respond in the same way. They work more, they chase promotions, they add responsibilities, they look for side income. From the outside, this looks like ambition. And sometimes it is. But very often, it's reaction, running faster inside the same structure. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Running faster inside the same system doesn't create freedom. It usually increases commitment. More income often leads to more obligations, higher fixed costs, bigger financial promises. Income goes up, expenses follow, and the space between them stays almost the same. This is why so many people feel confused, because progress looks real. The numbers are bigger, the lifestyle looks better, but internally, the sense of fragility remains. There is still stress, still pressure, still a feeling that one disruption could undo everything. This is when people start blaming themselves. Should be doing better. I make good money. Why does it still feel tight? What am I doing wrong? The answer is rarely about effort. The real issue is that stability was defined too narrowly. A salary provides income. It does not provide control. True financial stability does not come from predictability alone. It comes from flexibility. And flexibility only exists when there is space between what you earn and what you commit. This is where awareness changes. Everything does. The shift does not happen when income rises. It happens when someone stops reacting and starts observing. When you step back and look at the system instead of constantly responding to it, you begin to see patterns. How consumption is encouraged, how credit smooths friction, how lifestyle inflation feels invisible until it isn't. You start asking different questions. Not how can I earn more, but why does more never feel enough? Not what can I buy next, but what am I committing my future income to? This isn't about deprivation. It's not about cutting joy out of life. It's not about extremes. It's about intention. Real flexibility comes from decisions made with awareness, from understanding which expanses create freedom and which ones quietly remove options. That space between income and commitments is where choice lives. Without space, every decision is reactive. With space, decisions become deliberate. As long as stability is defined only by a paycheck, vulnerability remains. But when the system becomes clear, behavior changes. And when behavior changes, outcomes follow, not instantly, not dramatically, but consistently. Now tell me in the comments, is this something you already sensed but never fully articulated? Or is this the first time someone explained it this way? Understand the system before you play.